If you're feeling a little stagnant in your home, today's video is just the one for you. We are doing some cost-effective, relatively easy DIY projects around the home just to give it a little bit of an update. Also with today's video, as I am a mom of four, we got some real life in here. So come along with me over the next 2 days as we update the house. These small, simple projects definitely made a huge impact to our home.
Anywhere you want, yeah, I'm yours, and now we're singing.
Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. So I am going in and painting all the trim in this main living area. If you have followed me the past couple of weeks, you saw that I had done the trim in the family room as well as in the kids' hallway. And I've just been slowly working my way through the house. But the big project I wanted to also tackle is actually restaining the wood on the fireplace. After Bobby made all the new furniture and we stained it, I've really wanted to change that gray stain that we had on all that wood to a richer, warmer color. And oh my goodness, I am so happy with the way it turned out. But I'm telling you right now, it was a messy project. I am still cleaning up sawdust in my house even today, and I am expecting to be doing that for a while. So I'm just starting out by priming everything. I did get my primer tinted. This helps so much with the coverage. So highly recommend, if you can and if your store will do it, have them pre-tint your primer. It just helps it go along a lot faster.
I was quietly protective of my heart to reassure that it couldn't break to pieces and be left alone once more. You got on.
And then just a reminder, or if you are new and you didn't see my other videos, I am using the Sherwin-Williams Perfect Gray. I absolutely love this color because it's not really gray. It's one of those colors that lean more towards the like warm tones, but it will kind of go with no matter what your style is. So in my house, I'm definitely leaning towards warm over the cool and everything, but I like that this color can really transition with me. If I get to a point where I really want to change into those cooler tones again, this color is very transitional. But the biggest reason I wanted to do this is, one, I have 4 kids, and realistically, like, they are messy and they run into it with their toys and all of those things. And I just have noticed that this is a lot easier to keep looking clean and nice. I love the white trim. It's just not very practical for my life right now. And this color just added so much more dimension to the house. I love very neutral design because I'm someone that I like to change things up. So I like to change my decor. When the holidays roll around, I like to decorate. So having more neutrals in my house, it's a lot easier to change things without it being quite as overwhelming. Can you guys believe we are almost done with the school year? I am like in shock that we are coming up on the last couple weeks of school. It is insane to me that it has flown by this quick. And it's funny because for me, I know once summer break hits, like summers go so quickly. The next thing you know, we're going to be blinking and we're going to be decorating for Christmas. And I know that sounds insane, but I swear, when summer vacation comes, time just flies so much quicker. Especially this year, we are taking our trip to the mountains for a little like family get together. Bobby's parents are going to be there. His siblings with their significant others are going to be there. It's going to be such a fun trip at the end of summer. But I just know all of these things is going to make it fly by. So this hallway was the next hallway that I was a little like anxious about doing. But luckily, these doors were not peeling the same way that the doors in the kids' hallways were. So this was so much quicker than when I did their hallway because I just needed to give it a good rough sand and then I could start painting it right away. It saved me so much time and a lot less effort by not having to spend a full day just scraping and peeling off paint. All right, and because I'm impatient and I tell you guys everything, I am so excited that I was able to start my Helping Hand series this week. I actually was doing that yesterday. I went over to a mama's house and helped her out. And I'm thinking I'm going to post that video Sunday. It was not the original video I was planning on posting Sunday, but I know you guys love that series. I love making that series. But I am really thinking this time around that as long as the people I'm helping want, I might also do some mini makeovers for them as well. Trying to decide, but I think it would be so much fun. And I am someone that I get the itch to change things up and decorate. And there's only so much you can do in your own house. And I feel like this would be such a creative way to do something I love, but also be helping someone out. So that may be happening as well. I'm thinking what I'll end up doing is help them do the cleaning and organizing. And then after that's done, do some mini makeovers that are cost effective and just really change up someone's space. I think that'll be awesome. The woman I'm working with right now, I actually know because I give her milk for her little boy. So it's kind of nice because we kind of know each other already. But I have also talked to my doctor, and she said she's willing to put up a flyer in her office, and she wants me to help her with her house, as well as our chiropractor said the same thing. So hopefully the stress of finding people to help won't be too bad this time around, because I have to say, that is the hardest part of my Helping Hand series is finding people, but so excited that I get to start doing this again. I get so much enjoyment and joy out of going and helping someone out, and then just honestly the satisfaction of seeing the before and afters and big transformations in someone else's home. I may not love cleaning, but honestly when it comes down to it, the big thing is I don't love cleaning my house. When I go to other people's houses, there is just something about doing someone else's house that is so much fun. I also love this mama because she's like a go-getter. She is so ready to just be done. I just can't wait. Sunday's video is going to be so good, and I will share a lot more about her and everything we plan on doing and everything in Sunday's video. I don't want to give it all away, but as you can tell, I'm just completely stoked about this happening again.
Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going dancing. My heart stops beating.
Now, I will tell you guys, I didn't bore you with all the painting. I honestly just filmed me putting the primer on it. It gives you a good idea of the color change and everything. But this was an all-day project. From sunup to sundown, I was working on this trim and doors, just coat after coat and everything. But I love the way it turned out. I still have other parts of the house to do, but knowing just that the main living area is done is so satisfying to have that one project complete. And like I said, I'm just very happy that I did do it because it really has made a huge difference. The other thing is a lot of these doors needed repair work, and being able to take these off and everything. Bobby was able to go in, put any brad nails in that he needed, wood glue if he needed. It's funny, my aunt said on Sunday, she's like, you almost think you might have wanted to just buy new doors. I'm like, yeah, but to replace all the doors in our house, that adds up really quickly and wasn't something I really wanted to do. We are all about saving money here, and a little bit of elbow grease doesn't really bother me. So it was nice to just get these all repaired. They're working a lot better and they look so much better.
Little bit crazy on the weekends, dancing in her red dress, and I love the way she looks in my eyes. And I'm feeling like midnight's getting closer, and I just wanna hold her in my arms till the sun comes up. She's a little bit country, yeah, she's my country girl. She's a little bit country. Yeah, she's my country girl. Guitar. Yeah.
I have to admit, after a long day of painting and working around the house, scrubbing and organizing, I really just want to kick back and relax, and that's where DoorDash comes in handy. There's nothing quite like the convenience of getting a hot and ready pizza delivered right to your door. It's as easy as opening up the app, quickly browsing my local favorites, and within minutes, I have dinner ready for delivery. And all that without even having to change out of my work clothes. Honestly, on days like today, it truly is a lifesaver. And honestly, it's not just about the pizza. Whether it's just some snacks for movie night or maybe a drink to unwind, DoorDash makes it super easy. It's honestly your door to more relaxation, more time to hang out with the family at night, more time to just do whatever you want. So if you are like me and just need a little break after one of your crazy busy days, download the DoorDash app now. And don't forget to use my code Cambriea50 to get 50% off your first order up to $10 on a $15 or more order. But you have to hurry because this is a limited time offer. Because I don't know about you, but sometimes the best way to end your busy day is with delicious food delivered right to your door. And I want to give a huge thanks to DoorDash for sponsoring this video. All right, so we are on to the next day. I wanted to do a quick tidy up of the house. You guys know, whenever you take on a big project, there's always parts that end up like going on the back burner, and usually it's going to be my housework because that's the easiest stuff to be like, okay, it doesn't matter. The dishes don't get done, the counter doesn't get wiped off, the house doesn't get cleaned up. It's not the end of the world. So before I started my next project, I did want to do just a quick reset of at least the main living areas of the house, because I am definitely someone that works better and relaxes better in a clean space.
A little nonsense is what I need. Now if you wanna get the best of me, got you smiling, that's for sure. Funny how you had the best of.
So I am curious, are you like me and like the spring hits, the weather starts changing, and you just get the itch to switch stuff in your house? Like just update things, little things throughout it. I have so many projects in my head that I want to do right now. Obviously, I still need to work on the dining room, the wood in there. That I'll probably actually do coming up here very soon because I just want all the wood in the house to match. But I also want to do an update on our kitchen island, the exterior of our house. I really want to try and get it, either the brick I want to try and get clean, or I'm thinking about lime washing it. One or the other. There's like a film on the bottom of the brick just from settlement and stuff like that, and I don't love the way it looks. So I've been looking up ways to fix that. And what else? I don't know. I have so many things. My bedroom, I have ideas for our bedroom. You guys know when I did it, I like the way it looks, but I got it done and I'm like, I kind of wish I would have went with a darker color on the bottom half. So like I have ideas for our bedroom going through my head. So many different projects that I want to get done. On top of now doing my helping hand series again. Just a million things. But I kind of like it that way. I like staying busy. So, but yeah, this time of year, does your brain do that same thing where you're just like, okay, what things can I update and change? And obviously, like, don't want to spend a ton of money on these things because I don't know about you, but we don't have just crazy money flying out of our boots. So, trying to keep it cost effective but make big impacts.
That's the night away. That's the night away. That's the night away. That's the night away. No matter what they say. That's the night away. That's the night away. That's the night away.
So I think we are getting really close to Athena learning how to crawl. She pretty much has sitting down, unless she throws herself backwards. But like she can sit for a very long time. I had to like slow my roll on her like milestones and everything. Because I swear it doesn't matter how many kids you have. Like you forget all the different milestones and stuff. And I was looking it up the other day. And with some of the stuff, I'm like, okay, she's like well advanced on those things, but I feel like she's a little behind on these others. And then I had to like remind myself of what the pediatrician says with her being premature, that she's gestationally younger than what the traditional guidelines say. But she is getting so close. We have been working on, I can't think of her name. So there is a girl on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. She's on it all. And I follow her because she is a physical therapist specifically for littles. And she gives like really good advice of things you can do with your babies to help them. And one of the things is kneel and play. So just literally having them on their knees while playing with something. So we've been working on that. Like I said, she's got sitting down. But the only reason, like, in some ways as a mom, them learning how to crawl is, like, super exciting. But you also know, like, once they learn to crawl, you have your hands full. But she sees her older siblings running around the house and everything. And I know she's going to be so happy when she has the ability to, like, move around and play more. So that's why I'm, like, really trying to get her comfortable with it, because I just know she's already a very happy baby, but she wants to go and do so bad. All right, so I don't normally wash down my counters like this where I am using the Dawn Power Wash to do it, but every once in a while I like to do this just to really give it a scrub down. There's always crumbs and stuff that gets into these counters, and this is just a good way to give it like a really thorough deep cleaning, especially on my island. Like my island, I prep food here, the kids eat at the island, like it's always getting covered in stuff. Freya does her arts and crafts here, so paint and glitter and markers and crayons and everything end up on the kitchen island. So every once in a while, going in with the Dawn Power Wash, it's just more work this way because obviously you have to really make sure to go over it multiple times to thoroughly rinse it. But I also wanted to go in and give my wooden utensils a really good cleaning as well. The ones I use on a regular, you can tell, are getting more discolored. And the nice thing about wooden utensils is they're so easy to give a good thorough cleaning. I'm just literally just going to boil them on the stove and let that just pull everything out. I've heard two things. Like I've heard people say you shouldn't do this. Other people say this is like the way to clean them. I don't know. This is the way I do it. It works for us. So obviously do what's best for you. But I've always cleaned my wooden things in this way. And I find that it works out really, really well.
People knew her by her will to make it whatever she put her mind to. Late night the hill, serving coffee to strangers, talking about revenue. She kept dreaming of a world big enough.
Also, when I was doing a thorough deep cleaning the other day, someone reminded me to get under the countertop. So that was another area I was focusing on today, the edges, but also getting that sponge underneath it. That is definitely somewhere that you just don't think about. It's out of sight, out of mind situation, but yes, it definitely gets grimy with little kids' hands and everything especially. So I was making sure to focus on all aspects of the counter to get it really, really clean.
Waking up an easy egg. I remember her in songs, decades old, but it doesn't matter. Stumble across old memories, try to recall before they all shatter. She kept dreaming of a world big enough for it.
And then obviously I'm just lifting everything up because I am going to, when I am done here, send the robot vacuum into this room. So with the robot vacuums, you can just set it up for like a cleaning at a certain time of every day. I don't ever do that. I like to send it into a specific room. So when I'm done with the kitchen, I will send it specifically into the kitchen. That way I could move on to the family room. I had to disassemble all of these shelves and everything. That way I could get to work on sanding these down. This definitely is a workout to do. I'm going to show you doing one of the shelves, but after I got one of the shelves done, I told Bobby, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to get the inside and these shelves done if I do it all by myself. So I actually ended up having him sand down the shelves. That way I could work on the counters and the mantle inside, and we could actually get it done in one day. So this would have probably been a 2-day project if I didn't have his help, but with him helping me out, I was able to get this done pretty easily, which was really nice. And this is always great because it allows you to do a thorough deep cleaning. Before anything went back up on the shelves, I made sure to really dust everything down and get it really, really clean. Let's be honest, especially if you have high shelves, those things probably are not getting dusted and cleaning as much as you should. This is also a day that I was very thankful for my husband being obsessed with tools, because I tried a couple different tools to figure out the best way to really sand these down. So I started with just our mouse sanders. We have 2 of them. This one is the orbital one, and then we just have, I guess that's the difference. This is an orbital one, and we also have a mouse sander. But then he also has this bad guy. This guy is like, it will rip through anything. This was definitely the one to choose. It made a lot quicker work of it. I will say though, Bobby's better at this. Partially, if I was a little bit taller, it'd be easier to get like the, I don't want to say grip. I don't think that's the leverage. That's it. The leverage to really get in here and get it done. As you can see, I got it done on this one. But he definitely does a better job just because of his height to really get the leverage in and strip these boards. So, like I said, after I got this done, I don't want you guys to think that I did it all by myself, because that would be a total lie. But I did get this one board done, and it felt really good to at least get part of it. And then I just passed the baton and let him finish. That way I could go back inside. Now, way back when we first did this fireplace, we were going for a more rustic look, so we didn't really sand it at all. I quickly found out I am not a fan of that. It holds on to like all the dust and debris, and like decorating for Christmas, that fake snow, everything was hanging on to this. So I was excited to get in here and sand this down. One, to change the color. The color's beautiful. Once you guys see me put it on, oh, chef's kiss. It was so pretty. Exactly what this space needed. It warms it up so much. But also being able to just smooth this down. That way it's not going to collect as much dust and debris and everything. It's already working out so much better. So not only am I getting the color that I absolutely love, but also just that smoother surface is really nice. Also, don't worry, I'm not going to bore you with the hours of sanding. I'm just showing you a section of it because this definitely took a long time. This is the hardest part. So if you have fresh wood, it's not that hard to stain and everything. It's super quick. But because I had to remove old stain, this definitely took a lot longer. Surprisingly, though, these counters actually sanded fairly easily. I thought I was going to have to work a lot harder, but these were actually the easiest piece of wood for me to sand. I also like that I was able to go in and touch up the paint and everything. I've been slacking at that. Way back when we first did it, the stain got on the wall and I'm like, it's not really a big deal. But this time around, I wanted to make sure to do it correctly. Also, for everyone that had kept reminding me about painting the screws for our brackets black so they would blend in, we did also do that. And yes, makes a huge difference to just do that little bit. And whenever I noticed that it wasn't sanding as well, a quick change of the sandpaper and the battery, that made the biggest difference. Whenever I changed the battery and the sandpaper, it just started ripping through it all over again. Now, I will warn you, though, the amount of sawdust in the house from doing this is insane. I obviously had to clean up after I was done, so I got out the vacuum. That way I could vacuum up as much as it could. But literally, this dust traveled. It was in the kitchen. It was everywhere. And I did kind of expect that, but I wasn't expecting, I went around and dusted everything. I'm like, okay, everything needs a good wipe down after I'm done with this. And within an hour, it was all covered in dust again, just because there must have been a lot of particles still in the air making its way down. I feel like I'm going to be cleaning up dust from doing this project for the next couple weeks. And maybe even longer because, like I said, I still have to do the dining room, but still totally worth it. Totally worth it. Love the way it looks. But yeah, it's a messy, messy job. I did also want to go in there and wipe everything down. So I grabbed my my O-Cedar spin mop. That way I could just wash it all down, get more of the dust off of everything. Because like I said, it was covered. Just giving it a really good cleaning before I go in and stain.
It's what you're doing, making me feel like I'm falling. And when you're moving, I can hear.
So I know some of you are going to ask what stain color I am using. Unfortunately, we did a custom mix, and I don't actually know what you can call this because we were looking at different stains and a lot of them were too light, but I also didn't want to go too dark, and I was having the hardest time finding a stain that I actually loved. So I actually ended up taking golden oak, and it wasn't espresso, but it was another darker one, and doing 2 parts of the golden oak to 1 part of the darker stain to get this really, really pretty. And yes, I am just using a sock, and this worked great. I did put a glove underneath the sock so that my hands weren't completely stained, but the sock is perfect. If you have old socks, definitely stain with old socks. It is so much easier than those like staining squares. I've tried those, don't like those, or even a rag. Stain with a sock all the way. Makes such a huge difference. So these counters that we used with these built-ins were actually butcher block that we got from Lowe's. Bobby just cut them down to size and everything. I love this look on here. It just is a good thickness, which is why I really liked the butcher block. And because we were able to use them in a couple areas of the house, it actually wasn't horribly expensive. These can be a little bit more pricey, but I feel like as long as you use them like sparingly and in a way that makes sense, it's not too bad. I love the idea of like butcher block in the kitchen and stuff, but I always get nervous because I don't think I would like all the cut marks and everything, and they just naturally get a lot more worn in the kitchen. So being able to add the natural element of wood and stuff in other areas of the house is something that I love. I love neutrals, but adding in warmth of plants and wood and stuff like that, I feel like that's what really gives your home a really cozy feel, even if you are someone that likes white walls or cream or things like that. By adding in the natural elements, that is really going to warm up your home, even if you are a more neutral girly like I am. And like I said before, I am going in and fixing my mess. That's why I didn't worry about taping it off before, as I knew I had spots from the first time I stained that I never repainted. So I'm like, you know what? I'm not going to worry about this time. So I will just go in afterwards and give it that nice crisp line. And I'm really happy I did. It does look really nice. The nice thing about stain though, unlike paint, like paint you really have to wait before you can tape it off and fix up stuff like this. Stain dries so quickly. I did this same day. There's no way if this was a painted piece of wood, I'd be able to do this on the same day. But I was able to do this on the same day, and it looks great now that it's just all finished. But now for the fun part, I get to put it all back together. I do still need to put a top coat on this, but the only top coat I have currently is a shiny top coat, and I told Bobby I didn't want to put shiny over here. I like it on the furniture that he's made, but I feel like on the fireplace and in the dining room, a more matte top coat will look a lot better. And I'm not too concerned about putting this back without that on there, because it's not like these are places that there's drinks being set or food or anything like that. And like I said before, this is a great time if you're doing a project like this to really go in and make sure everything is dust off and clean. I was going to have to do this anyway because, like I said before, the amount of sawdust, it got on everything. So even if I wasn't planning on dusting everything before putting it back up, I didn't have a choice after this.
let him get you down. Gonna make it stay just fine. 이대로 모자라지도 넘치지도 않아. Cause I got my collection.
I was just talking to my mom and sisters earlier today, and we were talking about my childhood home growing up, and it went on sale a couple months ago. My sister is a realtor up in Wisconsin, and she really wanted to do a walkthrough of it because we obviously haven't lived there in many, many years, and she thought it'd be really cool to walk through it. Well, unfortunately, they had already accepted an offer, so she wasn't able to. But we were talking, and I'm like, you know what? I even look back at Bobby and my very first house, and always just like, I'm curious if they've done any updates or anything, because way back when, I was in my young 20s when we first got married and everything. I was in my young 20s when we had Xander. I was 19 when we got married, and we had that house. And needless to say, I didn't know anything. I was still very young, very much learning. I did try like DIY stuff, but I also was not very comfortable with the idea of it. That's why I always tell people, like, if you want to do something, give it a try. You might fail, but you're going to learn even every time you fail, and you're just going to get more comfortable with it, more comfortable with using tools that you may have never used before, and more comfortable with doing DIYs, and you're going to get better at them. But with that, I was saying how I wish I had the knowledge that I have now when we own that house, because that house would be so cute if I could redo it now. I did little things like I did my very first tiling job in that house, and I did a backsplash in our kitchen, which looking back now, it definitely wasn't the greatest of jobs, but I was very proud of myself. What else did I do? Just normal like painting and decorating. But like I said, I just didn't have the confidence. I painted the trim in that house. It was all that old golden oak, so I changed that all out. But I wish I could go back today and give it a proper makeover, because it was such a nice, cute house. Actually, very similar to this house we live in now, except much smaller. It was only about 1,200 square feet, and it was a 2-bedroom. But I feel like if I could go back today and redo that, that house would be so cute, and honestly would be so much fun. I sometimes will just Google that address to see if it's for sale, because I also kind of hope that whoever owns it now has done some updates to it, and would love to see what they have done with the house.
All the right words, words from your mouth, holding me tight.
I had decided, since these pillows had dog hair on them, plus all the sawdust and everything, I was just going to throw them in the wash. They were well overdue for a good washing anyway, and I knew it would be the quickest and easiest way to get them all cleaned off. The nice thing about owning leather furniture is that was super easy to clean off. Like, yes, it had a layer of dust all over it, but I could just go in with my multi-purpose spray, wipe it all down, and get it all clean. And then these are the only fabric pieces that are on the couch, so I just quickly threw them in the wash, and it worked great. You can kind of see here before I sprayed how much sawdust was on this table. I changed out my microfiber cloths multiple times just because they were getting so dirty that I didn't really have an option but to constantly be changing them.
Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Tell me no lies, tell me no lie, 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 lie. Let's talk about your ex. Let's talk about your ex.
Yes, also into the front entry. I also needed to get all this done because we had people coming over, so I wanted to make sure that the house was all like cleaned before people came over and everything was put back together So this took a little bit of time, but I was happy to have it done when it was done. That is one thing about DIYs is often the process of doing them isn't too bad. It's always the prep work, the before and after prep work. To me, that is usually the hardest part. And this part of having to clean everything, yeah, like I said, I was not expecting it to be I was expecting a mess. Like that was one of the reasons I was putting off restaining all of this stuff. But I wasn't expecting it to literally migrate throughout the entire house. So after I got everything dusted and I ran the robot vacuum, that way I could sit down and take a break because honestly I was tired. I got out my mop and bucket and did the floors. That way I could get them really clean as well and help pick up a lot of this dust and debris that had just settled on all of the floors throughout the entire house.
You as you drive, do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile. Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever?
I do want to take this time and give you guys all a huge thank you. You guys know, you that stay to the very, very end are the true MVPs of my channel. Especially right now, my views on YouTube are down, and anytime you guys stay to the end, like, comment, especially when you share my videos, it just really helps me out. So I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. Leave me a smiley face emoji or a heart-eyed emoji down below. That way I know everyone that did make it to the end. Otherwise, I will see you guys Sunday in my very first new season of my helping hand. I will see you next time. Bye.